just ride a little bit, man.
The Cooper Cowboys.
Oh, wait, I got you. Oh, what up? In reality, I should be saying, and y'all, for those who know and who've been watching over the summer, Brett,
I don't know what that means. But it's like, what is it's
I'll tell you after the show, man. I'll tell you after the show. I just had a good feeling about Brett this year, man, and Brett's just come through. But anyway.
Brett the Hitman Maha.
Brett the Hitman Maha, Brett screwed Brett, whatever reference you want to do.
Yeah.
He kicks the Cowboys a victory, 20-17 to even up 1-1 on the season. First off, let's pay some bills real quick, man.
Yes.
Welcome to the post-game show, Game Day Live post-game show, presented by Callahan Motor, if I can freaking find it. Here we go. Callahan Motor, man. Shout out to Callahan Motor. We are excited right now. I'm just hyped up right now, man. But listen, Callahan Motor is the finest, most quality-oriented pre-owned dealership in the DFW area. As a family-owned and operated business, they have served the public since 2009. From sales to trade-ins to finance, you can count on Callahan Motor Company with over 150 vehicles in stock from over 25 different brands. Callahan Motor Company has the perfect car for you. Drop by the dealership in Keller, Texas, or visit CallahanMotorCompany.com to find your ride today, baby. And listen, this would be that time where I talk about my ride, but I'm gonna have a good ride home today. Usually, one of my things, if the Cowboys lose, I don't listen to no radio. I don't really want to have anything. Oh, I'm gonna listen to everything on the way home today, man. I feel great, and it's so much better coming off of a win, right?
Yes.
Obviously, you don't want to lose, but boy, did it get close there in that second half. Cowboys only scored 3 in the second half, but that's all they needed, Jesse.
Yeah, listen. At the end of the day, when you're faced with these circumstances about your backup quarterback is not there, your offense was putrid last week, there's finger pointing all week long in the media, you want to get the easiest thing to do to eliminate all of that noise, all of that negative noise, negative energy, negative everything, is to get a win. And it doesn't matter how it comes.
Doesn't matter.
If it comes pretty, if it comes ugly, as long as at the end, when the clock has triple zeros, it gives you the victory. And I'll be the first one to have to eat crow today because I didn't pick the Cowboys. I didn't think they had a chance.
That's not crow, man.
And it looked that they came out early in that game and had some really, really strong drives. And then in the second half, that offense sputtered. And you kind of start looking around and start saying, uh-oh.
I got worried.
Is it going to happen to us again? And then they go on like a 19-play, 8-minute drive that resulted in 8 points and tied it up. And you're like, uh-oh. Is it going to happen again? But the Cooper Cardiac Cowboys pulled it off, and as you say, Brett Maher came through in the clutch with the 50-yard field goal to get a victory. And everything, this does so much for your football team, for the morale, for the whispers. And it even kind of tells you, hey, Dak, you don't have – because you want to kind of get out of this thing a little – if you go down 0-2, it's kind of like really, really, really over.
They try to rush his butt back.
You know what I'm saying? But now you kind of even go, you know what, Dak, you can take a deep breath. You know, we don't have to kind of really accelerate this process of getting you back in here. Cooper Rush came in again, his second career start, his second career fourth-quarter drive for a touchdown, and his second career victory as a starter. And let me preface by saying this because I know that they're going to be coming, and you have those – asinine Cowboy fans are going to start saying, well, should we keep Cooper Rush as a starter over Dak Prescott when he comes back? Don't ask me that because my answer will be absolutely no. But kudos and credit to Cooper Rush and company. They put together a game plan, and he executed it to a victory.
It got real weird. And ever since that third drive of the game, I tweeted the offense has been out of whack, man. And it really didn't get back in sync until the final 3 passes at the end of the game there. But I think one of the plays that we're going to go back, at least I'm going to go back and be like, that might have been the play of the fourth quarter, was Brian Anger's punt to pin them inside the 10. I looked over to you and I said, oh, wait a minute. If we can get them to go 3 and out, if we get them to go 3 and out, right, it's not going to take a crazy return to put you in position. All you're going to need if you get just a decent enough return is about 25 yards, and they got a little bit more than that, and they put them in position. So, that's going to be a play I'm going back and look. And
the other play of the game I might say might be from the Bengals defense when they tipped the ball that ended up in the hands of Noah Brown, because
If they didn't tip it.
it might have been an interception.
Yeah, the replay, not the actual live, I'm like, okay, great catch by the tip. But then they showed the replay, and I'm like, shoot, if that actually was regular time, two people might have had a chance for that one. But sometimes you need that to go your way, because it wasn't going the Cowboys' way, for a long time in that game. And I got worried. I tweeted, man, this game is getting really weird. I need the defense to kind of end this thing. And that was the same possession where they went down like 19 plays and scored the touchdown. But, 6 sacks from the defense. At the end of the day, granted, that defensive series wasn't the greatest, but it took a couple fourth downs. It took some penalties. It took some crazy catches and throws. With all that included, this defense was fantastic. It was fantastic. They've only given up 2 touchdowns in 2 games so far. 2. And a ton of field goals, and held Joe Burrow to 199 yards. And, yeah, he got the little touchdown. But he got the little touchdown at the end. Joe was sacked 6 times. They really couldn't run the ball. If you look at, ran it for 25 times for 89 yards. Not their thing anyway, right? Their thing is to throw the rock. But they made Joe Burrow throw the ball 36 times for 199. I just wonder, what is the conversation going to be after 2 weeks for Joe Burrow? This ain't Cowboys talking live,
right?
But I'm just saying, we've seen what we believe top-tier quarterbacks struggle in the first couple games, and 2 of them are down 0-2. But
I think the conversation for Joe Burrow is the things that you thought you changed remain absolutely the same. Joe Burrow was sacked 6 times in this football game.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you the amount of times he was pressured and hit in this football game. Up front, and their style of offense, they are spread you out, 3-4 receivers. They aren't the 2 tight end personnel where they got to keep guys in. They went out and spent a gang of money on revamping that offensive line, and they've done nothing but continue to be as bad as they were last year. Like I said, 2 games, sacked 13 times. I don't know what that's on pace for, but you can't have 6.5 sacks per game on your quarterback. That's not sustainable offensively. That's not sustainable health-wise. That is the quickest path or on pace to find Joe Burrow on someone's injury report.
Yeah, but on the other side, the Cowboys only gave up 1 sack. We talked about the keys to victory was protect Cooper Rush. They literally did that from a protection standpoint. I can't wait to go back and watch the film, but was there many times where I'm sitting here screaming at the protection?
No.
It felt like there was a comfortable pocket all night.
Yep.
All night. Now, they did give up 1 sack, but, man, I had hats off to this offensive line. They played fantastic. Even in the run game, 27 carries, 107 yards. But me and you both, this is more like 28 carries for 150-something yards on that pitch, whatever they want to call it, to Tony Pollard. They gave that a reception to TP, so that gave him technically 4 receptions, 55 yards. But that's not really – we understand what happened there. Noah Brown, CD Lamb. Noah Brown was 4 for 4 in the first half, was getting shut out in the second half until that tip came up, but he came up clutch. 5 receptions, 91 yards, and a touchdown on the opening drive. CD Lamb, it wasn't some enormous great game, another 11-target game, 7 receptions, 75 yards. The Bengals played the Cowboys exactly the way I hope they did. And
Which
Dallas
was absolutely the wrong way, but
hey,
it worked
that's
out.
on them.
It worked out.
And Dallas took advantage of it enough.
Yes.
Right? They took advantage of it enough. Again, the first 2 possessions, fantastic. It got weird, but they played them the way they played them earlier, and the pressure wasn't getting there, and they took advantage of it, and they can walk away with this victory. But the other 2 keys to victory were coverage pressure. They started to loosen up in the second half a little bit, and we saw them get a couple uncontested catches, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. But overall, I thought the coverage was good. T. Higgins, 71 yards, Chase, 54 yards. You will live with that.
You'll live with that all day long, and that started up front. And
then the last one was dominate the line of
right.
scrimmage. And, we can't say enough about that.
And it all starts with who? Number 11.
Oh, Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons. This kid is like – I tweeted out, I said that Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones are going to have to start coming around the facilities because this dude has stolen a human skin and he's an alien walking among us. Like, Dan Quinn lined him up over Lyle Collins probably 75% of that game, and he just physically assaulted Lyle Collins.
Yeah.
He lined him up on the
73.
on 73, and he physically assaulted. I mean, anywhere you lined him up, he was physically assaulting offensive linemen. He came up a little bit gimpy at some point in time in this game, but he was just a dominating force, creating that pressure. And even when he wasn't getting home, what he was doing was collapsing a pocket, and other guys were getting off to get sacks, to create turnovers, to do so many different things. So Joe Burrow couldn't even have his eyes down the field, because every time he got to the top of his drop, here comes Micah Parsons, and here comes the rest of the defenders following behind him, getting him off his spot, having to throw the ball away, having to throw him inaccurate, and that was the story of the game.
There was a play, I think Joe Burrow had 6 guys in protection, 6 of them.
Yep.
And he got the ball out fast because he was worried about Micah Parsons, man. And that's what that kind of pass rush can do to you. Maybe not throughout a series, but all it takes is one play. And there might have been something there, but he just couldn't get to it because the pass rush got in his head. Donovan Wilson led the team in tackles today with 8 tackles so far before the rewatch on the film. And those were 8 hard-earned, deserved tackles, man. Shout out to Donovan Wilson. As long as Donovan Wilson stays healthy, I think Donovan Wilson can fill in for that Jaron Kearse role very well. I did see Israel Mukuamu out there quite a bit. He didn't pop up on the stat sheet a ton, but I can't wait to go back and watch that. Leighton Vander Esch finished second with 7 tackles, and then Diggs with 6. And the most important one of the season so far was on that 3rd and short. They tested Diggs on a quick out to, I don't know, whoever it was, and he made maybe the most perfect tackle. Tyler Boyd, and he made the most perfect form tackle you can have for a cornerback after getting ragdogged last week about his tackling or about his run-stopping ability. He made the biggest play, had them inside the 10. They get a punt off, and Dallas only needs like 3 plays to get in field goal range, and you get the dang on victory, man. Just a total team effort today.
Yeah, it is, and these are the type of things that you need in these. When your back's against the wall and you're down your starting quarterback, you need all of those guys to step up and have a game. Noah Brown stepped up and had a game. They contained Jamar Chase, whether you want to call it or not. He was contained, and that's almost, I don't want to call it a lockdown, but this is a guy who, there was never a point in time in the game where you felt like, Jamar Chase is getting going. Jamar Chase was he would have a catch here and there, but it wasn't anything that was of the dominating fashion.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't anything down the field. They didn't give any big plays down the field, plus 25, 30-yard plays down the field. Everything was contained. Everything was in front of them. And, again, when you have that going for you, the defense was dominant. And then you had, talk about all 3 phases, and then you had Brett Maher step up and make 2 huge clutch kicks, 50-plus yarders. 50 yards to end the game, and 54 yards, I think, was before the half. And those kicks were so big because if you don't have them, the results of this game are sitting differently.
The Cowboys offense didn't get inside the 30 after that first quarter, I don't believe. So, it was about Brett having to make those, and that's why you have a leg, you bring in a guy with a leg like Brett as opposed to Liram Hallelujah, who was on this team. He just didn't have that leg, and I'm not saying they could foresee the future. Just Brett just can make a 50-something, 60-yarder. It was those other ones that you had to worry about. But guess what? He had to kick 2 of those today. He had to kick 2 extra points, and he made them. So, funny thing is, I asked for this offense to give me 13 points. They got me 14. I said, I just need the defense to give me a tutty or my defense to do something. They didn't get you the touchdown. I think they did, I want to say one better, but they corralled the Bengals enough to keep this close and gave you a shot at the end, and that's all you can really ask for given the situation here, man. So fantastic finish, fun game, got weird in the middle not even really the middle, for most of the rest of the second, third, and fourth quarter, but something just felt, I just felt when Anger punted that ball inside the 10.
Yes.
I said, these boys, aside from one series, these boys ain't really marching down this field. So I felt like if they can get a 3 and out, there's a shot. And they got that 3 and out, and boy, they made it happen, man.
No, they did. They absolutely did, man. And
I watched the pregame, my bad.
No, you're good. And another thing that we wanted and that we saw more of was getting Tony Pollard more action.
Oh, boy.
Getting him the football, and that was going to be key for everything that they did in the game, because you don't win this game without those timely runs by Tony Pollard. Like, it was, in the outside, in the inside, but just getting him the ball. And he's a change of pace from what Zeke Elliott is. Zeke's more of that, I don't say a bruiser, but
that's what he is.
But Tony, when that hole opened up, the one big play that he had is you saw him kid it, and he's kind of like waiting for that hole to open up, and then he hit it and got right through the hole for a big game for the Cowboys. And all of those things, man, come back, and you look up and you go, wow, I didn't think we did this or we did that, and you start seeing these little things show up in the game, and they come out in a positive form. And the Cowboys needed every single thing today to win this football game. Yeah,
and I don't know if it was Mike McCarthy, coming out, I don't want to say getting in Kellen's ear, but just maybe he did in a positive way. Like, hey, man, we got to muddy this thing up a little bit. We got to help out our guys. We got to help out our backup quarterback. I mean, we had to hire on the slip, on the pick'em, and it was under by 1. He had 31 attempts. If you can stay in that realm, right? You ran the ball 27 times. With a multitude of people, Zeke, TP, Lamb, and Turpin all carried the ball today. If you can stay balanced like that, I just feel like you're always going to have a shot towards the end, because this defense, man, I say it and I say it time after time after again. As long as 11's running out there and Dan Quinn is at the helm, I feel like the defense is going to give you a shot. You just need the offense to just do something, and then maybe a special teams from time to time will contribute with a big run. And let's be honest, what was the longest punt return? It might have only been like 9 yards, but that was a big 9 yards. Oh, no, 20. That was a 20-yarder?
Not the last one.
Okay, yeah.
The one right before the half. Remember, he kicked it, and he had the big run.
Yeah.
So it was one right before the half.
14 yards. So the last one, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. So it took a total team effort, man. And I think it's going to take this type of effort until they can figure out who they are from an identity standpoint offensively.
But this is who they should be. I
agree.
Like, what you saw today is who this team should be, honestly, with Cooper Rush and with Dak Prescott.
Will Greer. I don't give a damn who's out there. Kellen Moore.
This is who they should be as an offensive unit, because it still gives you a ton of opportunity, because the things that Cooper Rush didn't hit today, you can come back and look at those and say, all right, with a better quarterback or a more knowledgeable quarterback, we can hit the bigger play. Or we can hit, you can do certain things. But
or stay away from things that wasn't really those out routes. I think we got to stay away from that to an extent.
With Cooper Rush, at least.
Well, I'm saying with Cooper Rush.
Yeah.
But that's something that we've seen on film. Right? When we talked about that's not the type of arm he has.
Right.
Let him kind of focus in the middle of that field, unless you're dumping it off to a running back. But those out routes where he's coming back over in his progression, almost 3 times today, could have been picked, and one of them could have went to the house. So maybe they look at both sides like, okay, we didn't hit that, but that's there. We just come back to it. Or, all right, that one ain't going to work with this type of quarterback. Right. So let's kind of maybe, instead of 5 and out, we go 5 and in. The option stuff, maybe we don't give you the option. You know what I'm saying? Instead of the wide receiver making an out, we got him coming in and the running back coming out on the loop. So got a big play here. How come every time we think a game is over, the Cardinals were down 20-0, and I look up, I didn't even realize they were in overtime.
They're in overtime.
I was so focused on the Cowboys game, but yeah, man, Cowboys get the dub, 20-17. And I just can't wait to go back and watch this. It was a fun game defensively. The first 2 series were fun because I think you saw, and I don't know what the credit there. I thought we were seeing a different feel. What was it, the script, or was it a change? I'm going to go with a little bit of a change because they ended up still sticking with the run for 27 carries. Was it always with Tony Pollard? No, I think they should have probably given him the ball a little bit more. But, hey, I'm not going to argue with it. He touched it 13 times. So maybe somebody in the chat has the statistic here. But if I'm not mistaken, over the last now 2 seasons, when Tony Pollard touches the ball 10 or more times or more than 10 times, aren't the Cowboys like undefeated or maybe only lost once? I think the one loss was against the Raiders. So put the ball in your playmakers' hands in advantageous situations. What is the advantageous situation for Tony Pollard?
Anytime you get him the football. And no, seriously, anytime you give him the football and you get him going to the outside.
The outside, yeah.
He has a very unique skill of speed and vision and patience. Like, he understands how to run with enough speed that I'm not outrunning my blockers. That's the big piece. When you have running plays that are going to the outside, you got to let those big holes kind of get out there, let them get in front of those blocks, and then you hit it up the sideline, because what you're gonna end up getting is you're running away from all of the defensive linemen and linebackers, and you're getting more on cornerbacks and safeties. So I got to let those big linemen get outside, and then once they get on those blocks, now I find that seam and I get up and I outrun the trailing coverage coming from the inside. I think that's what Tony Pollard does a really good job at, and when he gets a chance to do it, you see it pay dividends in a major way with his runs to the outside.
I have a feeling, I mean, I don't know if this is true or not, but maybe linebackers kind of underestimate his game speed when they're trying to get to that edge, because you don't see them just, and maybe you can't just fire over because you might create a lane to cut back. We seen that happen against Dallas, against Deebo Samuels in the playoffs.
Right.
It was shut off on the outside, but Deebo said, oh, everybody out-kicked the coverage, and he cut back and scored a touchdown.
And that's what you want. I know they gave Diggs a lot of heat last week for not kind of coming up and contesting, but as the trailing linebackers are coming, the assignment is, hey, quarterback or safety driving down, your job is not necessarily always to make the tackle, but to send it back inside to the trailing cover. So we don't want to overrun it, so that there's a cutback lane, because once he cuts back, now he's out the back side of the door and you can't get him. So it's a lot of that. We're running to the football, but we're running to the football with a level of containment, hoping that cornerback sends it back inside to us to make the tackle.
Now, as we just peek ahead just for a quick second, before we get out of here, Stephen Jones did come out apparently on 105.3 and said there's a chance for Dak to come back week 3 or 4. I still don't believe week 3 is an option, but clearly week 4 has to be, because they didn't IR him. But if we peek ahead to next week, the Giants did just get a victory, so they're 2-0. Dallas is 1-1. The Commanders lost. Cowboys face the Giants next week on the road, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
right?
Monday Night Football, I believe, right?
Monday, yep, they're back to prime time in New York. And now you got Rush, who has a road victory, a home victory, both in the fourth quarter. Ugly games, but it's going to happen. Like, that's going to happen with your backup more often than not, right? Yeah. So you have that kind of confidence and momentum. I know it's not this simple, but man, I would take this game plan.
It is this simple.
Pack that thing up.
No.
It go right to New York.
It's that simple. It's that simple. This is not rocket science. It is that simple, saying, whoa, look how much this game plan worked for. There is no reason to kind of all of a sudden start getting out of character and what you want to do. Just be exactly who you are in that a fumble right there. Yeah. Be exactly who you are today. Next week, you're actually playing maybe even a lesser defense in the Giants than you are in the Bengals. So I wouldn't change that at all. I would absolutely, not only would I pack that, I will pack that on my carry-on to make sure it gets to my destination. I ain't putting that under the plane where it might get lost somewhere. I'm taking that with me. It's staying by my side, and it's coming with me to New York next week.
100%, man. And another thing I hope they pack with them is the guy that just absolutely abused their Turf Tough matchup today, which we're going to get to here in a second. My goodness, did he abuse that man. But let's talk about our Turf Tough matchup presented by DFW Turf. There we go. Hey, you know what is worse than the Cowboys loss, which they didn't even suffer today, which is beautiful? Spending hours every week mowing your lawn and spending thousands of dollars every year on lawn maintenance just to have a yard that dies during the summer and gets muddy when it rains. But what if I told you could save all of that time and money, all while having a yard that looks as green and clean as the Cowboys turf that they play on? All right, DFW Turf Solutions is that answer for you. Their products are perfect for your backyard, pool area, putting green, side yards, and a ton more. So get your free estimate today at dfwturf.com or give them a call, 940-365-9165. Turf Tough matchup today was Lyle Collins versus Micah Parsons. And you want to talk about, again, I can't wait for the film in general, but that is going to be fun to watch.
I can't watch. There's two things I want to watch when it comes to this matchup. First thing I want to watch is I can't wait for Coach 30.
Oh, it's happening.
To get after Lyle Collins in this matchup. The second thing I can't watch, I can't wait to hear Brian Baldinger break down this tape on Micah Parsons. You know, he does his little thing where he breaks down. Because I tweeted at him, I said,
I saw that.
you're going to laugh hysterically when you watch this film and you see the way that he dominated.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
What a finish in this Raiders-Cardinals game. Unbelievable. They throw out to the slot receiver. He tries to fight for
Hunter
yards.
Renfrow.
He fumbles it. They pick it up and run it back for the game-winning touchdown. Unbelievable. Sorry, guys. Sorry for interrupting you. But it's the football fan in me coming out. Wow.
Football has been absolutely bonkers the last 2 weeks.
I love it.
This is why the NFL
is he down?
No, he's not.
He's not down. That's
He is
game
not down.
time. Unbelievable. Wow. Anyway, back to this matchup. You tweeted.
Yeah, I tweeted to Brian Baldinger, and I just wanted to, I wanted.
Go ahead. We good.
I wanted him to. I can't wait to hear his breakdown of this game because Micah Parsons was just. I know he calls himself the lion, but he's literally an animal out there. Like he's literally an animal, and he's feasting on these offensive linemen like there's nobody's business. It is a fun thing to watch. I found myself as an offensive guy. I found myself more often. I'm like, hey, just punt the ball.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you said it to me. You said, I'm kind of excited to see the defense.
Yeah, I'm like punt it. I don't know. I'm like, because I feel like they're actually going to be able to make more plays than the offense.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
at that point in the game, it got to that point where the offense sputtered. Cooper looked like the backup. Guys were fumbling the ball. It was like, okay, defense got to make some noise.
I'm like, I like my chances with Micah Parsons getting a strip sack fumble or a tip ball or an interception, something of that extent. So I was just like, hey, I ain't mad they got to punt the ball because I'd much rather see the defense on the field. And that's mainly because of the animal, the man-child that is Micah Parsons. I mean, 2 games in already this season. I think, where's he at, 5 sacks already?
4 sacks. He's on pace for 34 sacks. I think he can get 30 at this point. I mean,
I don't know. I think that's a reach.
How?
30 sacks?
Bro, that's less than 2 a game. That's 2 a game.
That's a lot. Like that.
We're 2 games in. He has 2.
That breaks the like that. Not only does it break the single season record.
17 games.
It smashes the single season record.
I think whenever Micah breaks the record, he's going to smash it.
Holy moly, guacamole! That if he does that, then
I mean, he has to stay healthy though. That's one thing to keep an eye on, man. He was kind of limping around there, so I think Coach will say something in the post-game conference here, and obviously we'll hear something tomorrow. But he was limping.
Yeah, no, he's an animal. I'm not even worried about I'm not worried. I'm not worried one bit about Micah Parsons. I think he's going to go back to the lab, and they're going to hook him up to these machines, and they're going to recharge the alien, and then he'll be back at the practice field tomorrow. Yeah,
but Micah Parsons absolutely won that turf tough matchup. DeMarcus Lawrence had a good game today. 6 tackles, 3 solo. Was showed up in the run game. I thought he'd show up in the passing game a little bit more. I had to go back on the film and see if he got some pressures. Didn't get any sacks, though. So, a lot of people want him to get those sacks.
Well, honestly, he's not going to get them because when you go back and you watch the film, like just from watching the game today, you're going to see they bumped him inside.
Yeah.
So Micah Parsons has been playing left defensive end a lot in this game. So they bumped him inside, and they're using him more as a defensive tackle than a defensive end. So him getting those sacks that Micah's getting, they're like, listen, Tank, we like you a lot, but nobody has to faster 2-3 step off the line of scrimmage than Micah Parsons. So, hey, you just go inside and play off of him. So when you're watching the game, don't think that Tank is not doing his part. Just know that every opportunity to go get a sack, Micah's the guy they're putting at the defensive end spot and letting him go get the football.
And I'm fine with them putting D-Law and Micah Parsons on the same side on pass rushing opportunities.
Totally fine.
Somebody's going to get that work. Somebody's going to get that work. It happened to be Lyle Collins today. And then they said, oh, no, 73. You're going to get some of this work, too. Yeah. And he got some of that work. What's good? 717 in the building.
What's up, my guy? What's going on?
We in here, but hey, what's up? I'll be over there in a second. I got you. Oh, man, see, when you win.
Yeah.
It feels so much better, man. It feels so much better, and that's what the Cowboys did. 20-17. Game Day Live was turned up, presented by Callahan Motor Company. Pre-game show was turned up. Halftime show was really turned up because we was feeling really good at 17-3. I ain't gonna hold you. See, this is why you got to be here. That's why you got to be here, man. I was in my bag per usual. clinched up a little bit, man.
That thing got tight.
Got clinched up a little
That
bit.
thing got tight. That gooch got tight, baby.
But listen, I tell you one thing I did, though. I made the energy pick up around here a little bit.
Yes.
I made the energy pick up
That's
around
what you
here
do.
a little bit, man. That's what I'm always
I'm the calm, cool, reserved one. You're the.
Oh, no.
You're up, down. Like, you burn a lot of calories at these games.
I try to remain professional as possible. If you guys want a glimpse of how I am, just go back and watch when they scored that touchdown to Arizona Cardinals. That ain't even my team.
Right.
That's not my team.
Right.
So just imagine how I am when the Cowboys are playing. I live and breathe every single last snap. I mean, it's I don't know how else to explain it, man. That's why I tell you, reporter, analyst, and fan is one of the hardest things to do. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody is doing that. I admittedly do that, and I admittedly sometimes allow my fandom to get the best of me. But that's what I'm always be, man. I'm always going to be a diehard for these boys and hope they get these dubs. And that's exactly what they got today, 20-17, Jesse. Cowboys 1-1, Bengals 0-2. They face the Giants next week on Monday Night Football, baby.
You know, and the Cowboys, sometimes they kind of have to, if we're nitpicking anything, those penalties.
Yeah.
You got to pick up
How many
those.
did they have total today?
It says 5, but I had them down for 6.
Maybe one got declined.
Okay, that's
There might
probably
be
what
a
it
few
was.
that
Yeah,
got
a few that got declined.
Let's say this: the penalties were, some of them were big time ones.
Yeah, and it was like you have penalties that just kind of cost you, and then you have those that you just can't have in timely possessions or timely points in the football game. And they had a couple of those today that extended drives. Luckily, that they weren't able to, really kill you on them. But again, you just can't keep putting yourself in that position to do so.
I can't be greedy. Beggars can't be choosers. If we only gonna get 5 of them, Jesse.
Yeah, I guess.
We done came back from 2 games. The last 2 Cowboys games, they had 24 penalties.
Yeah.
We got 5 today.
Yeah. I guess that's an improvement.
That's an improvement.
All right, you're right. I'll shut up.
I will take that improvement.
I'll shut up then.
All day and tomorrow. Let's carry that over next week and go from 5 to 3.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Let's take the offense improvement from 14 points to 21. You know what I'm saying? Little baby. All it took was a baby step to get the dub today.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for much. We week to week. That's all, man.
I'm with you.
Final thoughts tonight.
Kudos to the Cowboys as a whole.
Yeah.
Because after week 1, you have such a really bad performance, and in that performance you lose your quarterback. And at that point in time, everybody, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people, myself included, wrote this football team off. And you even saw in the media all week long, there was some finger pointing and Kellen Moore, there was a lot, Jerry Jones, there was a lot of finger pointing all throughout the media this week. But this team galvanized. They believe in that it's only us mentality, the locker room mentality. Those guys bonded together, and they came out here at home against this is a team that went to the Super Bowl last year in the Cincinnati Bengals, and they found a way to win a football game. And no matter how you want to put that, winning football games in the National Football League is hard,
man.
It's really hard to do. It's really hard to do when you don't have your starting quarterback. They found a way to do it, so you got to give a major shout out and credit to everybody involved, from Brett Brown and Jim Maurer to Bucky Brooks and Mike McCord in the equipment room to the media people, but to the coaching staff. I said in the pregame show, this is a coaching game. This is a contract coaching game. This game comes down to how coaches are able to put together a game plan to win. And I think in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams, each one of those coaches put together a game plan that got on the dub today. So all the credit goes to the Cowboys, their players, their coaching staff, and everybody involved in that, because it took a total team effort and they did it.
My parting shots is, we like to use the word, put this on loop. Put this thing on loop. From top to I don't know what McCarthy went in there and told old Kellen. I don't know what, the offensive line was oh my God, it was so much better today.
So much better.
I don't know.
We're not even talking about Tyler Smith.
Not Tyler, not Terrence, not nobody.
Not nobody.
Not Forniak was awful last week. I didn't think I don't know if he had a bad game or not, because I didn't hear his name. Whatever you did, pack that thing up. Like my man Steve Harvey said,
let's go.
Pack that thing
Pack
up.
it up.
Put it in your bag. Take it and send it over to New York.
No, carry it. Don't send it.
You're right.
I don't want you to get lost.
You're right. We don't want to get
lost.
lost.
Bring it on. Carry on. Take it
Carry
through
on,
security
because
with you. Put it in your
Don't
put it
check
in your
it in
bag.
nothing. Don't check it in nothing.
Don't even put it in the overhead bin.
Nah.
Keep it with you.
Put that right next to me.
Right.
Yeah.
When they say underneath the seat, make sure your feet are on it. Then when they get 35,000 feet in the air, pull it out, put it back on your lap till it's time to land again.
100%. Pack that thing up, put it on loop, whatever you need to do. Take this. If it's because you heard all these things and if you felt that you were pissed off, take that same energy.
Yes.
Don't just revel in this victory. We didn't come out here and blow anybody out or anything like that. Keep that same taste of that defeat in your mouth going into next week. Keep that same taste of I got something to prove going into next week, whether it be coach, whether it be player. Take it, pack it, put that thing on loop, and let's do this again next week.
Because it'll suck if you go up to New York and lose to the Giants.
This one don't even matter.
Right, it'll kind of put you back in the same place you were a week ago. So, packing this thing up, taking it, and going up there to New York, to New Jersey, whatever the hell they play at now. And to go get a victory.
All right, man, look, that's going to do it for us here for the post-game show. Man, excited, man. Can't wait to go out here, celebrate a little bit with the Cowboy fans. Cowboys Nation, appreciate y'all for joining us for the pregame, the halftime. See, getting a little, that thing pop a little bit. We out of here. Hold on, I've been in the gym a little bit. Get the W. Let's go! I'll see y'all tomorrow. Be at Supreme Lending, man. I'll be at Supreme Lending live. Cowboys in the morning. I love y'all. Be out of here. Peace.
We out.
I'm in my zone, on the road to the Super Bowl. Every game on the schedule crucial, it take a toll. It don't matter if we at home or on the road. You try to tackle, I'll truck a sucker and take it so. I'm staring at 4th and goal, gotta find an open hole. A linebacker just close a hole where I'm supposed to go. So now I'm thinking my centers are all pro, so I trust he can make a walk for wherever the ball go. Yeah, there's 5 seconds on the play clock. The crowd was loud, but they stopped. Now it's silent while they watch. The standoff in the red zone. All I see is red home. Watch me get this touchdown and this W and head home.